All right, let me introduce the persons that are sitting on the platform. And let me start with, by the way, I must tell you that we have a serious accumulation of wealth inside this room here. And we are trying very best to exploit it, right, Ms. Jackson? Okay. All right, so let us start with, to my left, Mr. Julian Magivan. We talk about wealth, we leave it there. Garnet Codfish Denton is the person sitting beside Mr. Magivan. Keegan Kevin Simpson, Chwali Da Silva, our own acting principal, Miss Lorna Jackson, and our own coach, Casman Jasmo Williams. Giving back should be one of the easiest things to do in life, but oftentimes it is the hardest thing. And so when we have persons remembering that there is an institution, William Knibb, and remember that there is the give back policy of this world, we can do nothing but to sing praises. And for me, this is the second year of being part of this, officiating this give back exercise. And it is my pleasure to share with you this afternoon. Our first task today is to, as usual, hear from persons who are integral in this thing. I have no set program, so I'll call on persons spontaneously, so please be prepared. But the first person that I want to share with us what's happening at William Knibb in a very small way is our current acting principal, Miss Lorna Jackson. Please.
Please permit me to sit, because this thing here is tied up onto something on the table. Knibbites, friends of Knibbites, good afternoon. Come on, man, good afternoon. Yes. For me, this is really a very special time, a special feeling, a special occasion. They've introduced me as the acting principal, but in my mind, I am wondering in what capacity I would put myself. Because for those of you who don't know, right now I am sure that I am the oldest past student in this auditorium.
Also the youngest looking.
And there are many of us who share the passion that I have. There are many of us who will bleed purple and green if you cut us. Yes, there are many of us. And so I really do feel very special to be among persons who share the same passion as I do. And I really must commend these past students who took up the challenge when we had it. I remember it started because we were challenged as to whether or not we would enter 1 year. And an appeal was made, and it started there, and it has not stopped. So this has become a calendar activity that we really do look forward to. And I just really want to salute, especially those who come from overseas and do the coordinating to ensure that we have this activity, to ensure that the present students have some of the experience. All those who will pass through the walls, the hallowed walls of the school, will share some of the experiences that we would have shared, you know, albeit a little bit different those many years ago. And sir, so first and foremost, as an alumnus, I just want to again offer my congratulations and just to encourage you to continue to be loyal ambassadors for your school. And then on behalf of the Board of Management and the principal, Mrs. Alcia Morgan Bromfield. I'm not sure if she can hear us from where she is, but I'm sure she would like nothing better than to have been here. She was so looking forward to being with us for this particular activity. But as fate would have it, she is not able to do so right now. But you can trust me that I will update her as soon as I get a chance to as to what happens here. And so I am just taking the opportunity on behalf of the rest of the school just to say heartfelt thanks for the help that you've provided. Without this, the Lord knows where we would be. As a school, we are not permitted to spend government funds in anything that's competitive. And so we have to find ways and means to compete in the Costa Cup or any other activity. Football is a very costly sport. And one of the most expensive part of it is the football boots. And so when we have past students who give us the football boots, it is really, really a big deal. And so I am saying thanks, but I am also hoping that these students, these present students, will take a lesson from today's activity so that in another couple of years when you are elsewhere, when you are making your own money, then in your heart you will say, you know, I want to be a part of this movement, because I remember when I was a student that they came and they did this. And that's all we will ask from you. So again, thank you so much for this continued gesture. Thank you for coming, those of you who are just friends of the school, and we look forward to a great time celebrating afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. She made mention of the fact that she's the oldest past student here. I was just about to say. Ms. Jackson was my grade 7 teacher. The very first day I stepped at William Knibb, and also my Spanish teacher. So yes, Ms. Jackson, you are the oldest here. And also you are a former head girl. And the list goes on. Thanks, Ms. Jackson. Thanks for all these years of serving us at William Knibb High School. Moving on, and at this time we are here because of the Costa Cup team. And they are now being guided by castman Jasper Williams. So at this time I'll ask Mr. Williams to say a few.
On behalf of my staff, youngsters, I want to extend a big thank you to Mr. Denton and his friends, who has worked very hard. I had the opportunity of seeing them in action in New York, and trust me, yes, I had the opportunity of seeing them in New York, and they really put out some work to get these things here for you guys today. And they have been working long before that. I am hoping and praying that we will have some more past students joining along with them, fighting and trying to get things here for the school, not just shoes, but any other thing that can assist the schools in improving and moving forward. Also, let me say thank you to a lot of these people here. I don't know some of the faces, but it's nice meeting you all as past students here today. It's a pleasure. And I am hoping that the squad that we have here today will do you all proud. They are young, very young, but I think that they have the ability to make you all proud this season. We are looking forward for your support every day. This year, the last season we had the Costa Cup, I really felt good having the teachers. A lot of teachers came to the games, and it was good for myself, and I think for the students also. I'm hoping that that will continue, and we'll also get more past students supporting the youngsters. Again, I say thank you to you all. All right?
Thanks, Casman. He made mention of the assistance that we have been afforded by the past students from living in the United States. So at this time, I'll just pass the microphone along just for 2 minutes of greetings. We start with Charlie De Silva, and we'll move right along the table.
Thank you, Dave. So I'm Charlie De Silva, and I'm a graduate of class of 1988. So I was also a Da Costa Cup team member for 3 years, or 4 years. Right, so I played the Costa Cup for 4 years. So as much as we're passionate about football, we're also very much passionate about the school, right? Because it's our school that helped shape us who I am today and who we are today. So most of our experiences at school have been positive. So it's pretty much a no-brainer to spit back that positivity back to you guys. And hoping that when you guys become adults and further yourself, whether in football or not, beyond the gates of William Knibb, you guys can return that favor to the young one as well, right? Because each one helps one, you know? So again, I'm Charlie De Silva, I'm the class of 1988. What's on?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kevin Simpson, aka Keegan. It is an absolute pleasure to be here today to make this presentation. And, you know, just to make sure we're recognizing those of who donated cleats that aren't here today. There are numerous other people who donated cleats, so I would like to definitely recognize them. You know, not necessarily by name, because there are numerous people who aren't even past students, and they took the time and the effort to donate it to us. I also, though, have to recognize some people who are here today who aren't even past students, but they took the time out of their busy schedules to be here. Mr. Paul Jenkins, aka G, you know, KC past student. He was here and he liked the purple, white, and green. I know we want to convert KC with the green, but we're not going to have that. The green stays here at William Knibb in Trelawney. Okay? Also, you know, I want to say it is a pleasure to be here with some alumni from Da Costa Cup who I personally looked up to, and I think are maybe 4 or 5 of the best players who have passed through here. First, Mr. Casman Williams to my right. In the audience, Mr. Shanavan De Souza, you know, who I personally think, you know, those two are 2 of the greatest. Then Charlie Da Silva to my right, Mr. Garnet Denton to my left, and Julian Magiwan. I think these are some of the, in my opinion, and you know, the next thing I want to say is directed towards the current players. Chiwali did mention that it is not only about football, and I was speaking to a few of you before about that, and I was telling you guys that football is a part of what we do here, but first you are students, and so please make sure that your academics are up to par so that when you move on from here, you'll be ready for out there, because out there, academics is a key thing, because we're not all going to be professional footballers. So let's make sure we're paying attention to our academics. All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. My name is Garnet Codfish Denton, past student. And I want to say it's a pleasure for me to be here, making this presentation again. We invest in the youths, and they're the future. And as long as they're around, you know, we can always look forward for, you know, them to develop themselves. And as a past student, I can tell you that it's always a pleasure to give back. And as Ms. Jackson said, when the guys should go in the working field, just remember the school. You know, we want to make this investment. Even if the Da Costa Cup team is not going to enter in the Da Costa Cup, there's also the under 16 and the under 14 team where we can give back also. So as long as I'm around, there's this reunion in New York where we use the opportunity to ask the past student to walk with a football boots or a gear. And as long as I'm around, even if I'm not around, the other past student, they're going to do that. But you guys are our investment. I'm going to make the presentation today for the most disciplined student. And I know I am a disciplinarian. So this should have been one of the most difficult award. So in the future, I want all of you guys to aim for that award. And it's not discipline only in the school, but discipline when you're at home, when you're on the road. You know, so I hope that you guys bring your best team today, because afterwards it's going to be a match and we're going to be victorious. So again, I thank you and all the best for the rest of the evening.
Good afternoon again. My name is Julian McGibbon. I think we are about 100 strong today. I'm looking forward for next year to be 300. Today is a very special day for me to see these young guys plus past students and my principal over there. She's not accepting the crown, but she's my principal. I hope we can do this every year and make it much, much bigger. As Keegan's friend Casey, I have friends from Casey and I see their past student thing. It's nothing compared. Ours is nothing compared to them. So that is my aim. I hope we can make it 200-300 strong next year and move on further. I hope we have a good time after. Madam Principal, you are my principal, not acting.
Earlier on, I was talking to a number of about 3 or 4 of the current students. And we were talking about Casman Williams actually. And one of the things I was saying to them was that in his playing time and his playing days, when Jasper would kick a football, it would stay kicked. I think the same can be said about Shanavan D'Souza, Charlie Da Silva, and Keegan. And we also made mention of Catfish, that when him tackle, he stay tackled. So we have rich history here, and part of the legacy and part of the challenge to the new set of players that are coming through William Knibb is to live up to this legacy and live up to the high expectations that we have of them. Part of us being here is to acknowledge persons who have excelled one way or the other, persons who have been part of us throughout history. At this time, let us acknowledge another past student, Member of Parliament, Mr. Victor Wright. Right. Yes, so what we are about to do now is to recognize 2 persons who have been part of the institution from as long as we can remember. And it's not often that we do this and we stop and pay our respect to the unsung heroes. We normally look to those who have been in the limelight and those who have made it in the mainstream. But today, it was very pleasing when Garnett told me of this award. And so, I'll ask Mr. Julian McGibbon to make the presentation to our very own, our auxiliary staff extraordinaire, Mr. Devon Foodie Reed. Foodie, can you please come? come on the platform for this.
Mr. Devon Reed, a.k.a. Foley, on behalf of the William Knibb Past Students Association, Authorway Parts and Supplies Limited, Martabray, we present this token to you as a gift to say thank you for the numerous years you have supported us. Thank you.
Okay. Well done, Foodie, and I tell you, I don't know what William Knibb will do without you. You have really been an unsung hero for this institution. I really say thanks. Another of our presentation today will be made by Charlie Da Silva. And again, we move from auxiliary staff to academic staff. And at this time, we'll ask none other than our very own, our former head girl, our former class teacher, and our principal, Miss Lorna Jackson, to accept this presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it gives me a great pleasure to present this award to Miss Jackson here, because if it wasn't for Miss Jackson, a lot of you guys wouldn't speak good English. And Spanish as well. And Spanish as well. That's right. So on behalf of the Past Students Association and everyone in the auditorium, I would like to present you with the Award for Excellence in Academic Service. And that's for you, Miss Jackson. We do appreciate all that you've done for the school. Thank you.
Surprise. I'm sorry, I almost said when Dave said there were two, I almost said no, it's one for staff and then two others. But then I said, okay, they'll correct themselves. So I really am surprised. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, I told you before that I feel like I'm in a room full of wealth. And about 2 minutes or so ago, Mr. Victor Wright walked in. It seems as if we are at G7. So let me now ask Mr. Wright to bring greetings, and thereafter I'll also ask Ms. Jackson to join him, and he'll make a presentation to Ms. Jackson for the school.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the table and other past students, members of the football team, good afternoon. One of the penalties you pay for being late is that you don't get the opportunity to be long. But I must first really commend the organizers of this presentation. I've seen it, I've heard about it, and it's some of the things you see where you deeply inside you feel real good about. But I don't know, but in my years at William Knibb, I've never watched the William Knibb D-Cup team played. And I'm not apologetic about it because I had to leave to catch a country bus to Top Trelawney. And I remember once I tried to watch a D-Cup game and I had to sleep at the police station in Falmouth. But I must say proudly that subsequently to my departing William Knibb, I've had the opportunity to watch William Knibb in many games. And in talking to the players, there's a proud alumni out there that watches. And especially when it comes to football, we take an interest in how our alma mater is doing. So my charge to you is that the best you can do is always your best. And if you would go out there and do your best, you would have made us proud. But, you know, when we come to the games, we are very good evaluators. And we can tell when you would have been doing your best. Because by now, Sean and others have seen the crowd, Williams, Tiger, and the other guys who are in the crowd, they know this game, right? And you always have our support. Now to the organizers, I must say that, you know, we know what it is like to give back. We know what the needs of the institution is. And it's good when you can have Codfish, that's your name, right? Yeah, man. So it's good when you can have persons coming together to give some gears. So I just really want to wish the team all the best in this upcoming year. I too would have been a part, long before I was member of parliament, when T-Gat was coaching. I had made some donations to the team, etc. I am sure, is the coach here? You're the coach? Who's the coach? Mr. Williams? Okay. So I just want to say to you, Mr. Williams, that, you know, just get the best out of these guys. And for all of us here smiling, you would have made us proud, you know, if you just come through. Right? Because, you know, we all have our teams. But I always started out in D-Cup cheering for William Knibb first. Always cheer for William Knibb first. You have to be out for me to be cheering for somebody else. And even now, more so than ever, I'll be looking out for great things. And just in keeping with the spirit of giving, Miss Jackson, I'm going to be announcing a donation of $150,000 to the D-Cup team for this year. All right? And so thank you very much.
We heard correctly. We're talking US, right? I told you that we are at G7, and that's the spirit. Thanks very much, Member of Parliament, past student Victor Wright. Any institution that strives on discipline, regardless of what sport you compete in, regardless of your cultural programs, if you concentrate and strive on discipline, that will send you through. And oftentimes, our letdown is not so much with talent, but with discipline. Each year, as part of this feature, is to acknowledge the most disciplined player of last year. And today, it is with great honor that I ask Garnet Denton to make this presentation to the player who has exhibited great discipline last year. Today, let me ask Mr. Markland Simpson to come and accept this award as being the most disciplined player last year.
The Garnet Codfish Denton Award for Most Disciplined Player presented to Markland Simpson for your respectful and outstanding behavior in and out of school. And as I said earlier, gentlemen, I mean, it's not only in school I want you to behave. I want you to behave everywhere. Even on social media now, we want to go on your page to see what you're broadcasting, because social media play a very important role now. And a lot of guys, students as a matter of fact, posting some things on social media, and they are students. But this award goes to Mr. Markland Simpson, and I want to say congratulations to you, sir. I want to apologize. It also comes with a cash incentive. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we talk about discipline as one of the main ingredients in the life of success. This is an institution that spends a lot of time to focus on the academics. And Simpson made mention of being student first. And one of the things that the emphasis is placed on is being that total student athlete, where the academics are very much there in keeping with the talent. And so we want to recognize that student who last year not only played well, but achieved a lot in the classroom. And so I'll ask Mr. Kevin Simpson to make this presentation to the student who we have deemed to be the person with the best academic achievement. And at this time, I'll ask the great Rennie. Laura? What's the last name? Rennie, Leonardo Rennie, sorry. Leonardo Rennie to accept this award.
It gives me great pleasure to be here this year again to present this award to this young man for the second year running, Mr. Leonardo Rennie. This award is dear to my heart because it's given in memory of my mom, who herself was an educator. And it says here, the Cordelia Reed Simpson Academic Achievement Award, presented by Kevin Keegan Simpson to Mr. Leonardo Rennie, the 2017 recipient. Congratulations, young man.
Part of us really being here also is the presentation of football gears for this year's season. So at this time, I'll ask Ms. Jackson, on behalf of the William Knibb High School, to accept football gears, boots, balls, shin guards, and the list that Jasper will present down the road. And they will ask both Garnet Denton, Charlie De Silva, and Kevin Caesar to symbolic make this presentation.
Thank you. All right. So Ms. J, on behalf of the Past Students Association as well as the D-Cup alumni, would like to present a whole host of boots for the D-Cup team for this year. And hopefully that can go beyond the D-Cup, but, you know, I just want to make a shout out to Kevin Simpson, Garnet, as well as other people who has actually contributed who could not be here today. I just want to shout out Paul Watson and also Yannick Williams, who was also contributed to what we see today. So on our behalf, we want to say thank you very much, and it's something that we, you know, take pride in doing, and hopefully we'll continue doing this in the future as well.
As Ms. Jackson has indicated, that playing the Costa Cup is not an easy task, and it normally runs the school pretty deep in terms of budgeting. And William Knibb has been more than fortunate, and sometimes you see the glass half empty, but oftentimes we must look at it half full. William Knibb has been more than fortunate to have past students that we can reach out to from time to time. There are some of them that are not here today, but I still want to acknowledge and to recognize them, Mr. Williams. Juna Robb, not here, but Juna has been very, very, very kind to us, and a number of times that we reach out to him, he has answered our call. Duncan's Bakery, Mr. Butler, not here, but again, another faithful soldier. Our very own Osam. You know, from time to time when we reach out to them, they're always there. And there are many more persons who, whenever we say William Knibb, Gary Knowles is not here, But anytime we reach out to them, they are always there, willing and able to assist. And we just want to thank everybody for doing so. At this time, I'll ask Leonardo Rennie, I must get it right before the day end, to come and give a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the William Knibb School family and the DaCosta Cup team, it is with great joy we extend thank you to all those who contributed to make this day successful and for donating all these wonderful gears that will help us to be prosperous in the season. It has been a number of years that you all have been giving us different motivational speech and different gears to help us to go on throughout the season. Once again, I want to thank everyone for being here today and supporting us. Thank you.
Thanks, Rennie. Before we go, I really have to apologize. I want for us to acknowledge our very able goalkeeper coach and really the man that really make the fitness and all the jewelry. Mr. Art, could you please stand for me, please? Really, Elvis Art, please. And walking in at the back, the man that made the belly occupy the time, our chef, Dane Clark, please acknowledge him. All right. Reminder that immediately following this presentation here, or this exercise here, there will be a football game, the current D Cup playing past players. So we'll move from here to there. Thanks one and all for coming and enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of the summer. Footnote, remember that the World Boss runs tomorrow and Saturday. Please. Thank you.